from tonight's episode of The Bachelor in our Bachelor Nation break.
Plus, Tori Johnson with deals and steals and treat yourself. Plus, our next adorable kid inventor. We'll see you then.
Take it, girl!
The search called off for a missing swimmer swept into the ocean at Waimea Bay. We'll tell you why, and we'll have details on day 3 of the search and rescue mission. And more coronavirus concerns on board a cruise ship in New Jersey as 4 passengers tested for the potentially deadly illness as the outbreak continues to take even more lives in China. We'll break down the numbers straight ahead.
Now, from Honolulu, for all of Hawaii, this is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Aloha and mahalo for tuning in to KITV4 Island News Midday on this Monday, February 10th. I'm Lindsey Fukano. Today, the search continues for the 20-year-old woman that was swept out to sea near Waimea Bay. Hannah Vanderskug went missing after authorities say she was swept into the ocean Friday evening. Now, this morning, crews from the Honolulu Fire Department station at Sunset Beach, they went out at the crack of dawn to resume the search, but found no signs of Vanderskug. And a captain with the search says over a dozen members from HFD will be sweeping a 4.5-mile stretch from the fire station to Laniakea Beach.
So we'll send forces out on foot. We'll also have Air One come out. We'll have our rescue companies come out and whatever other resources that we need. We also have a drone team that we have used in the past. So like you see today, the weather, it's a little bit windy.
On Sunday, the Coast Guard announced it was calling off their search efforts for Vanderskug, and the Coast Guard says they conducted 40 searches encompassing over 485 square miles. In a press release, the Guard stated, quote, "It is a decision based on survivability factors, and time always works against us." The Coast Guard needs help finding the owner of this missing green kayak. It was found 1.5 miles off an area known as Big Beach on Maui. Crews searched the area, but as of now, there are no reports of a missing person. Anyone with information that can help lead to the owner is asked to call the Coast Guard at 842-2600. Meanwhile, Oahu lifeguards rescued 6 people from 2 boats in 2 separate incidents. Yesterday, a boat capsized in waters off Maile, forcing 3 people into the water. Ocean safety personnel also rescued another 3 people from a grounded sailboat off Kaimana Beach. EMS personnel tells us nobody was hurt in either of the boating mishaps. Let's turn now to our local weather, taking a live look at Hilo Bay right now. Tasia Worley's in now with a look at today's forecast. Tasia.
Hilo, Hawaii getting some sunshine, but we do have this low pressure here that's continuing to give us some heavy showers, especially for our Oahu throughout Maui County. As we zoom in just a bit closer with our air coming in from the northwest, it's still keeping our temperatures nice and cool. 64 in Lahaina at the moment, 65 for Wahiawa. Here's a look at Kauai, partly cloudy skies for today. And then for our Oahu, we still have those on and off heavy showers right now for the North Shore more so. We do have that flood advisory in effect for the island of Oahu, Molokai, and Lanai, and that is until 2:45 in the afternoon is the last flood advisory posted till. Again, for our Oahu, very slick roads, especially on the western side, as well as our North Shore. Maui County more so for Molokai, we're seeing a lot of rain there. And then for Hawaii Island, cloudy conditions for Kailua Kona. Lindsay, to you.
All right, Tasia, thank you. A cruise ship docked in New Jersey will depart today following a coronavirus scare that led to 4 passengers being tested for the potentially deadly illness. This disrupting travel plans for thousands of vacationers. The Anthem of the Sea was delayed for several days over fears of the coronavirus. A handful of the 4,000 passengers were quarantined. A family of 4 who had recently traveled to China was hospitalized over concerns they could have the deadly respiratory virus, which has now now killed more than 800 people, the vast majority of that amount in China. The family tested negative, but some of them did test positive for the flu, which has similar symptoms like fever, cough, and shortness of breath.
We've had this happen to us in our life because of bad weather. It's out of their hands. You know, they didn't plan on having a virus come around the United States at this time, so but they handled it very well, and we're very pleased, and we told them we'll be back.
Royal Caribbean is compensating passengers for the severe disruption. And so far in the United States, there's been 12 confirmed cases of coronavirus, with 100 others being monitored right now. And going from concerns on that cruise ship in New Jersey to the ship docked in quarantine off the coast of Japan, where there's now new confirmed coronavirus cases on board. Julia McFarland reports today is the deadliest day so far in China, with a spike in recorded coronavirus fatalities.
A new blow in the fight against coronavirus. China's Health Commission announcing the highest number of people killed from the virus in a single day. 97 casualties on Sunday. This as the total number of deaths climbs towards the 1,000 mark. Meanwhile, bad news for those passengers stuck on the Diamond Princess cruise ship off the coast of Japan, as dozens of people on board test positive for the virus. Meaning now at least 135 out of 3,700 passengers have caught the virus, including at least 23 Americans. One of them is Rebecca Frazier from Oregon, currently being treated in a hospital in Japan.
You never think that something like this is going to happen when you're just on vacation, living life. So yeah, it was pretty shocking. It doesn't even feel like a cold, to be perfectly honest. I wouldn't have known that there was anything wrong with me if they hadn't tested me.
Many of those on board the ship are concerned about catching the virus from others. The crew's currently on a 2-week quarantine period. The president of Princess Cruises at pains to stress the situation is under control.
The Japanese government and Princess have both supplied additional resources and more doctors and nurses who have now boarded the ship. Experts in mental health and pharmacy will also be joining shortly.
The cruise line announcing they will refund the full fare for all guests, including their air travel, hotel and expenses as a result of the crisis on board. Meanwhile, another flight arranged by the State Department bringing back 65 people evacuated from Wuhan, arriving at a marine base in Myanmar. Medical staff from the CDC carrying out screenings and preparing the new arrivals for their time in federal quarantine. Julia McFarland, ABC News, London.
Australian researchers say they found a breakthrough when it comes to containing the coronavirus. Experts at the New South Wales Health Pathology Lab say they were able to grow live coronavirus cells. Their work will be able to help diagnose infected patients faster and more accurately. And back here at home, some Kauai residents are being forced to conserve water. The Department of Water wants customers living in Kilauea to immediately save water because a power outage is affecting the water pump station and the well site. Customers are asked to only use water for essential needs like cooking and drinking. Kauai Island Utility Cooperative is responding to that outage. On Maui, a memorial service was held for murder victim Charlie Scott, along with a long-awaited glimpse of her remains. Her mother, Kimberlyn Scott, invited the public to an informal memorial service outside the Maui Police Department forensic facility in the Mill Yard in Wailuku. Scott was murdered by her ex-boyfriend, Stephen Capobianco, while pregnant with their child in 2014. He was sentenced to a minimum 50 years in prison in 2017. The family had been told that they could take Scott's remains after the trial, but because of Capobianco's appeals, they're still waiting for a proper burial 3 years later. Well, still to come on KITV4, local businesses gearing up for this year's Valentine's Day rush. We'll tell you what business is like for one local florist after 83 years of being open during Valentine's Day. More money news still to come on KITV4 Island News. Stay with us.
Start your day with KITV4's Maleko McDonald, weekdays on Good Morning Hawaii.
If you can't work, what you're going through is hard. In Hawaii, paying for housing, healthcare, and food is hard. Trying to get Social Security disability benefits is hard. But calling me is easy. Aloha, I'm Danielle Beaver. When people across Hawaii need disability income, that's why I'm here. Social Security disability is all I do.
Call 808-537-9181. Attorney Danielle Beaver.
Now through February 13th, join Planet Fitness for only 25 cents down, $10 a month. Sure, you could flip truck tires.
I flip truck tires.
Or flip out over all this. Tons of equipment and free fitness training. Join now for only 25 cents down, $10 a month. And no truck tires. Join in club or at planetfitness.com. Hurry, deal ends Thursday, February 13th.
Visit Planet Fitness today to join for 25 cents down with no commitment. Hurry, offer ends February 13th.
I knew that I was going to be a firefighter. The best way to make myself competitive would be through a bachelor degree. All of the classes have given me extensive knowledge beyond what the Fire Academy would have given us. The faculty was just so amazing. Most of them were already firefighters, fire chiefs. My education has opened so many doors for me, it is absolutely priceless. From the day I received my honorable discharge to the day I went to work for a county fire department was 2 weeks.
American Military University. Learn from the leader.
In the heart of the windward side lies a beautiful sanctuary, Kina Ole Estate, where everyone is treated with love and respect, because we believe you should expect more from senior living.
They're loving and warm, not only to the residents, but to the families that come to visit.
Kina Ole Estate, I like it because, my mom enjoys it there. They're super duper, really good.
Kina Ole Estate, enriched, dependable senior living. Call us today to make an appointment. Mika Miyashima, weeknights at 6 and 10 only on KITV4 Island News. This is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Welcome back. Some local businesses are gearing up for this year's Valentine's Day rush. And for family-owned Baratania Florist, they're on their 83rd year of being in business during V-Day. Workers say they know what to expect each year, but that doesn't mean they get any more sleep.
We quadruple our staff, and during the week of Valentine's, we deliver anywhere from 1,400 to 1,500 items. And we bring in 20 to 25 delivery drivers throughout the week.
And Farinas tells KITV4 they're expecting to sell an additional 2,000 bouquets in store during this week alone. The Gordon Biersch Brewery restaurant at Aloha Tower Marketplace abruptly shut down after 26 years of being in business. The restaurant told customers on its Facebook page that the Honolulu location has been permanently closed, but that post made no indications as to why the brewery shut down. And a warning for parents: about 14,000 baby carriers are being recalled because faulty buckles could make your baby fall out. The Infantino carriers were sold at Target and on Amazon last year. No injuries have been reported. We'll go back outside now with a live look at the windward side of Oahu. Tasia Worley's back in now with a look at the forecast. Tasia.
Cloudy conditions with passing showers. Kauai got to just a bit of clear conditions for a little bit, but we still see temperatures in the lower 70s, and some isolated showers later on this evening is expected. Now for your town spots for Oahu, will start to pick up again just around after work, so definitely want to drive carefully on this Monday. Lots of showers throughout Maui County does continue. For Molokai and Lanai, we still have that flood advisory in effect, and temperatures in the upper 60s later tonight. Hilo, Hawaii, seeing clear conditions at the moment, but we still have the potential of some passing showers throughout this evening. Here's a look at that low pressure system just hovering right above the state, northeast of the state. That's going to continue to give us batches of moisture for the next couple of days. Tomorrow, more so for Maui County throughout Hawaii Island, expecting drier conditions to fill on in when our trade winds return late Wednesday. But we will also, because of the trade winds, have that trade wind pattern returning, meaning a few morning and evening showers. Drier conditions for your Thursday and Friday, and then breezy conditions once again with winds coming in from the east 10 to 20 miles per hour over the weekend. Lindsay Dio.
Tasia, thank you. To eat or not to eat red or processed meat, it's an issue debated by researchers for some time now, and a new study may have you putting down the steak knife. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Medical Minute.
KITV4 Island News Medical Minute, sponsored by Ekahi Wellness. Eating just 2 servings of processed meat or unprocessed red meat each week can bring a small but significant increased risk of premature death and heart disease, according to a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Researchers studied long-term data on nearly 30,000 people and determined people who ate 2 servings of meat like bacon, sausage, or a hot dog each week had a 3 to 7% higher risk of premature death and cardiovascular disease. While the percentages may sound small, heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States, and some say even a small reduction in risk can make a big difference. The study's lead author says anyone concerned about heart health or risk for cancer and other diseases should limit their intake of red and processed meats. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Newborns in the U.S. don't weigh what they used to. Research published last month from the University of Boulder, Colorado at Boulder shows that the average birth weight of babies from 1990 to 2013 went down more than 2 ounces. Researchers attributed the drop in birth weight to shorter pregnancies due to more women scheduling to be induced or have C-sections. Still to come on KITV4, a retiring canine cop gets a touching radio salute, and a zoo offering Valentine's Day closure through cockroaches. Those stories still ahead, coming up on KITV4.
Paul Drew's News and Weather, weekends on KITV4 Island News.
John Tyson's motto was, "When better chickens are hatched, we will hatch them." It's why all of the Tyson chicken that bears his name is raised with no antibiotics ever. Every nugget, strip, and drumstick. Keep it real. Keep it Tyson.
Cast your vote for KITV4's first annual Best of Hawaii 2020 Viewers' Choice Award. And who knows, your vote could send you to Vegas, courtesy of Vacations Hawaii.
Hi, I'm Jerry Griffin, the owner of Discount Windows and Doors. Welcome to our showroom.
Come in for this month's special. Save 40% on Mackay Windows and Doors. This month only and only from Discount Windows and Doors.
You've heard about our self-cleaning windows, especially designed for Hawaii. All of our quality products are offered at the very best prices. We even offer a price match guarantee. Discount Windows and Doors has been in business for more than 10 years with thousands of satisfied customers. Come and visit our Kaneohe showroom today.
Are you taking Viagra or Cialis? Marley Drug has generics of both for just $12 per tablet. That's a savings of $60 per dose. That's right, $12 per tablet for generic Viagra or Cialis, and free shipping when you order 10 tablets or more. Marley Drug is an independent pharmacy delivering generic Viagra or Cialis straight to your door. Call us at 1-800-711-1610.
Living with diabetes can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Discover an innovative way to better manage your diabetes with Ekahi Wellness. We focus on lifestyle improvements in your nutrition, emotional well-being, exercise, and your medical management, all under one roof. Our team of passionate professionals partner with you and your doctor so you can live with more energy, increase time for work and family, and take control of your diabetes. Your first consultation is at no cost to you, so call us today.
KITV4 Island News Medical Minute, sponsored by Ekahi Wellness.
This is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Welcome back. It was history at the Oscars. A big win for a small film and an evening full of firsts for the Academy. Romina Puga is in Hollywood now with more on the historic night on the day after.
This year's Academy Awards was a night of memorable moments and filmmaking firsts.
And the Oscar goes to Parasite.
The history-making hit Parasite becoming the first foreign language film to take home the Oscar for Best Picture. The small South Korean film breaking barriers, racking up award after award, including an upset in the Best Director category. Bong Joon-ho honoring his idol Martin Scorsese during his victory speech.
I loved that you said in your speech you wished that you could cut the Academy Award up in 5 pieces.
Texas Chainsaw.
And share it with those other directors. Would you really do that?
I really love them.
Back in Seoul, South Korea's president starting a government meeting with applause for cast and crew of Parasite. There were no surprises in the acting categories.
And the Oscar goes to Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt winning his first ever Acting Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, ain't that the truth?
And Laura Dern taking home her first Oscar Gold for Best Supporting Actress in Marriage Story.
I share this with my acting heroes, my legends, Diane Ladd and Bruce Dern.
And Joaquin Phoenix getting his first Oscar for his lead acting role in Joker. For the second year in a row, the Oscars going hostless.
We both have hosted the Oscars before, and this is such an incredible demotion. They don't really have hosts anymore. Why is that? Twitter!
Parasite had the most wins for the night, followed by 1917 with 3 wins, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ford vs. Ferrari, and Joker, each with 2. In Hollywood, Romina Puga, ABC News.
We'll go back outside now with a live look at weather. Here's a look from our KITV4 rooftop camera. Tasia Worley's in now with a look at today's surf forecast. Tasia.
We do have some surf in the same areas that our winds are coming from. Northwesterly winds up to 35 miles per hour and stronger gusts, helping kick up that northwest swell. 20 to 30 for the north, but quite choppy. West 12 to 20, and then calmer conditions for the east and south. Now we do have some wave heights for tomorrow, 20 to 25 for the north, and west 10 to 15. Possibly our next beach day would be by Thursday, Friday, and that's also when we're expecting another moderate northwesterly swell to roll in as well. So possibly just wait on for that. Now the high surf is giving us a few alerts out on the water. That high surf warning for north and west facing shores, but also Hawaii County Ocean Safety is reporting rough surf at Kailua Kona beaches. So Magic Sands and Kahului Beach parks are closed for today. Here's a look at our wind speeds at the moment. Sustained winds at 31 miles per hour for the west side of Kauai, and then double digits pretty much for the entire state, and definitely seeing a lot of moisture just accumulating for our Maui County and Oahu at the moment. The high wind warning is in effect. Some areas until 6 o'clock this evening, others till 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Definitely a bit stronger downslope. Possibly want to save a hike for later on this week. Temperatures will remain cool as well, in the middle 70s for the most part. Some areas like Lahaina and Wahiawa still in the middle 60s. And then we'll have lighter winds just a bit from the east from Wednesday through Friday. Lindsay, over to you.
All right, Tasia, thank you. The role of caregiver can be overwhelming, and it includes helping someone out with physical needs like getting dressed or making sure their finances and legal papers are in order. And now there's a nonprofit that can help out with that. KITV4's Diane Ako tells us how the Caregiver Foundation is helping families to age well.
For 7 years, Dr. Poki'i Balaz has been a caregiver for her father with Alzheimer's and her disabled nephew. Though she specializes in geriatrics, she admits she was overwhelmed. Then she found the Caregiver Foundation.
It gave me hope not only for my father, but it also gave me hope for my nephew that we could really achieve these goals that we were setting.
The Caregiver Foundation works with seniors, adults with disabilities, and their caregivers.
Everything from financial management through complete care coordination, guardianship, conservatorship, trusteeship, right through death, burial, and estate distribution.
Powell says he helps most of his 150 clients with money management.
We literally lock down the assets and the money. We make sure the bills are paid. We make sure the income is coming in properly. We make sure the taxes are filed on time.
Powell says coordinating care is another popular service.
It's house cleaning, or whether it's medical support, whether it's actually moving, finding the appropriate placement for someone, making sure they're eating properly.
The group will customize a plan for each client.
They can help you do the next step process, which is very hard for caregivers to think down the line, everything you need legally, financially, how to keep your house running, how to take care of yourself.
Powell says he loves helping seniors.
Making their quality of life, the years they have left, as good as they can be within their resources, brings me great joy.
Dr. Balaz says the nonprofit is a lifesaver.
It really, really starts just helping you to just calm the waters, and then you feel like, I can do this.
She says her life felt like a storm until the Caregiver Foundation stepped in and brought with it some light and hope. Diana Ko, KITV4 Island News.
And for more on aging well, you can visit the features section of our website at KITV.com. Still to come on KITV4, one final look at your 8-day forecast. Stay with us. You're watching KITV4 Island News.
Accurate weather forecasts with meteorologist Pete Caggiano on KITV4 Island News.
You are a superstar. Precise, determined, immaculate. 2 pans, 14 plates, 12 glasses, 6 bowls, 32 pieces of silverware, and Tutu's favorite beer stein. A miraculous performance of efficiency. You are an energy champion. Well done, sir. Well.
What are you doing?
What? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Be an energy champion. Learn how at hawaiienergy.com/champion.
Ooh.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you have or are eligible for Medicaid, please listen closely. You may be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan from Ohana Health Plan with 0 or low plan premium. Call 1-800-551-0536. Now, that's 1-800-551-0536. Representatives will provide detailed information and help see if you qualify. Ohana Health Plan provides access to a large network of local and regional doctors and hospitals. Plus, some plans give you more dental, more vision, and more hearing, plus more prescription drug coverage. Ohana Health Plan is contracted with Medicare to provide plans that may be right for you. Call 1-800-551-0536. Now, that's 1-800-551-0536.
When you feel like Vegas, there's just one place to stay. Grab a drink at the Holo Holo Bar, there's just one place to play. We got a fresh, hot look, a new sports book. We got those local meals, just like Auntie cooks. Aloha spoken here.
Book now at thecal.com.
Stay up to date on traffic and weather with Tasia Worley, weekday mornings on KITV4 Island News. This is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Oh, a furry four-legged cop gets a hero's goodbye and responds appropriately by eating an ice cream sandwich. Promise Jeremy Roth will make sense of this right now.
Watch an Arizona cop give his retiring canine partner a heartwarming send-off. Bruno joined the Oro Valley Police Department in 2013. Trained in narcotics detection, this very, very good boy helped seize nearly $1 million in drugs during his career. His handler, Officer Roger Reynolds, gave Bruno a tasty treat as he received a touching radio send-off.
This transmission is for Canine Bruno. He has just finished his last shift on duty and is now headed for retirement. Thank you for your 7 years of service. Thank you for all your hard work and for making sure your handler got home safe every night.
With Bruno departing for greener pastures, his canine comrades will continue his legacy of narcotics and explosives detection.
After helping to seize close to $1 million in narcotics, you deserve some much-earned belly rubs. You can now chase rabbits instead of bad guys. All of us at the department will miss you.
With Valentine's Day looming, if a lingering memory of an ex is bugging you, then the San Antonio Zoo has a cathartic and admittedly creepy solution. For just $5, staff will name a cockroach after your former lover and feed it to an animal. If that's not savage enough for you, for $20 more, you can upgrade and have a rat named for your ex and fed to a reptile. You don't even have to be there. The zoo plans on streaming the feedings on Facebook Live. Those that want to get in on the freaky festivities can submit names on the zoo's website. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
So I can submit the names of everyone that I don't like?
You sure can. You should
let me go get my list.
There we go.
I'm just joking.
I look forward to reading it. All right, Tage, let's take a look at the 8-day before we go.
We do have pockets of sunshine at the moment, but on and off showers are still expected to hold on through for your Monday and your Tuesday. Very breezy conditions at the moment, and we'll see lighter winds by Wednesday, Thursday. That's when I'll pick all my clothes off out the yard.
All right. There we go. We got a list. All right, well,
experience the bold, crispy, mouth-watering flavors Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen is serving up in each and every bite, providing closed captioning for KITV4 Island News.
Aloha! I'm coming to the Blaisdell Center in Honolulu, March 6th and 7th.
Carol Burnett is laugh out loud hilarious. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster and the box office, and make the perfect Valentine's gift.
And I hope to see you there. Mahalo.
When your V-neck looks more like a U-neck, that's when you know it's half-washed. Downy helps prevent stretching by conditioning fibers so clothes look newer, longer. Downy, and it's done. Everything was so fresh in the beginning, but that plug quickly faded. Luckily, there's Febreze Plug. It cleans away odors and freshens for 1,200 hours. Breathe happy with Febreze Plug.
Diana Coe, weekends only on KITV4 Island News.
Justice with Judge Maybelline will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law.
You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for their ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it. Who says you're not going to pay for it? I make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Maybelline. Kyle Abrams is suing Brian Tanis in the amount of $500. Mr. Abrams claims he was injured by bird spikes from his girlfriend's father's fence and says Mr. Tanis put them there just to hurt him.
In the matter of Kyle Abrams versus Brian Tanis, you're suing him for $500 for, again, a medical bill associated with an injury that you incurred.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm suing Mr. Tanis for $500 after I climbed his fence, fell off, and cut my shoulder.
Okay. Why you climbed his fence?
His daughter Ellie and I had been dating since high school, and we're still dating now that she's in college. And Mr. Tanis doesn't like me coming over. So I was climbing the fence to visit his daughter when I pricked my hands on the bird spikes and fell off and lacerated my shoulder.
What time of day or night were you climbing the fence?
It was around 9 p.m. at night.
And why didn't you go to the front door?
Well, I received a very threatening text from Mr. Tanis the last time I had gone over that said he warned me not to come back and told me that if I did come back, I would regret it. So I would not come back if I knew it was good for me. I found that very threatening, and so when Ellie invited me over...
You found it threatening, but still you went back?
She invited me over.
He didn't threaten her, he threatened you.
I said that it wasn't a good idea. I said that I probably shouldn't go back because I didn't want to incur any sort of further bad feelings from Mr. Tanis. I insisted that I shouldn't go back, but Ellie said that it would be fine. She said that she wanted to show her dad what kind of person I was, and that if I kept coming back, eventually he would see that I was a good person and begin to like me. And so I gave in. She said, just climb over the fence. But like I said, there are bird spikes there, and I think he booby-trapped the fence so that I would fall off and hurt myself.
Oh, but then how you know they were bird spikes?
Well, I have them here. Your Honor, would you like to take a look at them?
Yes. Not that I would know what I'm looking at. So he told you not to come back. It would be not so good for you. But the daughter said, come on, don't listen to daddy, right?
Yes.
And he didn't warn the daughter. He didn't say it wouldn't be good for her. He said it wouldn't be good for you, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
you took a risk and went on over there anyway. Mr. Tanis, why? do you despise this young man?
Well, Your Honor, quite frankly, he doesn't come from exactly a good family tree. His dad's been in prison. His dad is in prison. He's been in prison too, by the way. And as far as I'm concerned, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, Your Honor. While they were in high school, Ellie's mother and I couldn't say too much. That's fine. But once Ellie got accepted to college...
What do you mean you couldn't say too much while they were in high school?
Because
that's
I figured...
when she's underage.
I don't know what they were doing. As far as I know, they were just being with each other, and that's fine because it was high school.
Okay.
But once Ellie went to college and got accepted and went away, her mother and I expressed that we don't really want Kyle around anymore.
Okay.
And we made it more than abundantly clear.
To him and her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did Daddy make it abundantly clear that he didn't want Kyle around?
Yes, Your Honor, he did, but...
And why would you insist that the young man come around now that you're an adult, you're in college, and it's your mom and dad's house? Why would you insist that he come over? Why couldn't you just go meet him somewhere else other than your parents' home?
Well, before we got together, he fell in with the wrong crowd.
Same crowd.
Did a little bit of spray painting on some buildings.
He fell in with the wrong crowd, so it's the crowd's fault now, right? Not his.
Well, after him and I started dating, he really changed, and he stopped hanging out with them. He stopped spray painting. He really turned his whole life around. He works in construction now. I just want him to come over so that my dad can see what a great man he has become, and my dad never listens to me.
Well, according to what I read, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, when you started dating her, you stopped spray painting, hanging around with that group for a while. When she left and went away to college, you went right back to the same group, spray painting, hanging around with her.
I wouldn't say
That's what the paperwork I read.
I wouldn't say that I went right back to the same group. I did end up hanging out with them a couple of times again. It can get kind of lonely with Ellie away at college and all of the rest of our friends from high school away. But we were only spray painting once.
And what are you spray painting? Other people's property?
Public property, yes.
Yeah, public property.
Your Honor, he calls himself an artist. It's tagging, Your Honor. It's all he is. It's a crime.
I was a very creative child, but...
Yeah, but you got to find somewhere else to use your creativity other than on public property that you're not supposed to spray paint.
Well,
and then when you do that, it is called tagging. That's not called spray painting. There are some pieces of public property that hire artists or taggers or people creative like yourselves and give you a space and a place to do that. But for places that don't, it's called tagging, and it's a criminal offense.
I understand.
And now that you're an adult, the punishment is a little more than it was as a child. The possibility of it.
Yes.
And I'm sure you should be aware of that.
I am, and I learned my lesson last time. I spent a night in jail, and since then, I haven't hung out with those same people since.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Maybelline.
That's not necessarily a threat. That's a warning. Don't come over. It won't be good for you.
I do believe that he was booby-trapping the fence specifically for me.
He may very well have been, but he gave you one.
And later.
As a gentleman's trying to walk behind our group, he spills a little bit of beer on the brother. And before the gentleman can even apologize, they all jump up like, hey man, what's the problem? And a fight breaks out.
Justice with Judge Maybelline. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
When I noticed my sister moving differently, I didn't know what was happening. She said it was like someone else was controlling her mouth. Her doctor said she has tardive dyskinesia, which may be related to important medication she takes for her depression. Her ankles would also roll and her toes would stretch out. TD can affect different parts of the body. It may also affect people who take medications for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia.
We were so relieved to learn that today TD is manageable.
Learn more at talkabouttd.com.
I'm Alex Trebek, here to tell you about the Colonial Penn program. If you're age 50 to 85 and looking to buy life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
What are the 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, and price. A price you can afford, a price that can't increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 54. Alex, what's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I'm 65 and take medications. What's my price?
Also, $9.95 a month.
I just turned 80. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you, too. If you're age 50 to 85, call now about the #1 most popular whole life insurance plan, available through the Colonial Penn program. It has an affordable rate starting at $9.95 a month. No medical exam, no health questions. Your acceptance is guaranteed. And this plan has a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, so your rate can never go up for any reason. So call now for free information, and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. And it's yours just for calling. So call now.
Call 1-800-440-2255 for your free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-440-2255. 1-800-440-2255. Call now.
It's here. Instant funding online from SpeedyCash.com. Don't have time to stop by a Speedy Cash store? Get cash now, no matter where you are. Apply for a loan using the Speedy Cash app. If approved, funds apply to your debit card in minutes with instant funding from SpeedyCash.com. Apply now. It's fast. Go to SpeedyCash.com for instant funding today.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline. We're back with the case of Kyle Abrams, who is suing Brian Tannis for intentional harm.
What did you learn about respect for somebody else's property and respect for somebody else's home? That's not Ellie's home. That's her parents' home. And they're the adults and they own that property and they say, don't come over. What have you learned about that?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that Mr. Tannis doesn't have a right to protect his property, but I do believe that he was booby-trapping the fence specifically for me.
He may very well have been, but he gave you warning.
Then he threatened me.
No, he gave you warning. He said, don't come over, it won't be good for you.
Well, I still believe it's his responsibility.
That's not necessarily a threat. That's a warning. Don't come over, it won't be good for you. Because I'm going to, you may get hurt if you come over. It won't be good for you.
He could have told me in what way it wouldn't be good for me. He could have told me that he was putting bird spikes on the fence.
He could have told you that I'll shoot you. And you and her would have figured that, I'll talk him out of it. Don't listen to it. Come on.
I figured that Ellie wouldn't.
The man.
I figured that Ellie wouldn't have invited me over and insisted so persistently that I come over, insisting that it would be okay if she hadn't spoken to her dad.
No, you were being disrespectful, and so were you, Ellie. Your father told you he didn't want the young man over. You're an adult. There are plenty of places you could meet with him. You don't want to go to his house. You're not going over there because you don't like that place, and that's his. But you're going to disrespect your father and then bring him to their home. There's a lot of places you could meet him.
Your Honor, could I add something?
I don't know. Not while I'm talking. There are a lot of places you could have met him. She couldn't come sit in your living room and have a conversation?
I've invited her over. She likes me at her house.
It ain't her house, though. That's the problem. Let me see what the law has to say about this, because it's the state of New Jersey. And they gave me the case law that the statute that I hadn't read. Because I know in California, when you climb over somebody's fence, you're a trespasser. And when you trespass, whatever happens to you as a trespasser, because the landowner owes no duty to you, to a trespasser, to refrain from willfully acts. Because you trespassed and climbing over his fence, that made you a trespasser.
I don't know if this pertains specifically to the law, but I never was actually in his yard at the time of the incident.
How are you not in his yard if you climbed on top of his fence?
I jumped on the fence, my hands got correct.
That's his property. You're trespassing. Yeah. The man has a right as the owner of property, according to New Jersey law, that he doesn't have a duty to a trespasser. And when you got up on his fence, that's his property, you're a trespasser. So you don't have he doesn't have a duty. But then there's another statute that says landowners need to warn trespassers about artificial conditions on the property that pose a risk of death or serious bodily injury. Did you have a warning sign on the property that there was a condition that posed a risk of death or serious bodily injury?
I saw no warning sign.
I'm asking Mr. Tannis.
Your Honor,
Mr. Tannis.
If anything, I would warn a bird.
Did you have a warning sign on your property when you put bird spikes, even though these are bird spikes?
Birds, yes,
for the
Your Honor.
bird, some other person other than a bird is likely to trespass on your property. So you're supposed to put a warning sign. Like when you have a dog that's vicious, you put a warning sign and say, beware of dog. And you should put a sign that says, beware of bird spikes, or beware of fence, or enter at your own risk. Did you have anything that gave a warning that he could be hurt if he climbed your fence?
Your Honor.
Because it could have been a kid trying to jump over to get a ball that go in the yard or anything like that. Did
Your
you
Honor,
put a warning sign?
With all due respect, Your Honor, a dog attacks.
Did you put a
bird
warning
wires
sign? Don't ask, I'll meet your due
I
respect.
can't defend stupidity, Your Honor. No, I don't have a fence. I don't have a sign.
It's not stupidity. This is the New Jersey state law.
Then no, Your Honor. I don't have a sign that says,
Okay,
don't
so
climb
now
my fence.
keep your bird spikes up there if you like, but put a sign, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put it up there, but you have to put a sign that says beware. But it also says he doesn't owe you a duty if you have a risk of harm. But because he didn't put the sign up there, I find that though he didn't put the sign on the fence, he gave you a warning that you could be harmed if you came back to his house. He did give you a warning. He gave you specifically a very clear warning. And you did not heed the warning. So I'm not going to make him pay for your medical bills because of that. So judgment for the defendant.
Judge Maybelline has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I shouldn't have trespassed, but you need to get over your dislike of me.
You know what? Once you give me a reason to, maybe I will.
Guys, can we please just move past this?
Coming up.
A beer was thrown, which started a huge fight. Next thing I know, things are going crazy.
Security comes down and they arrest all of us. And so she bails me out and then I bail on her.
Justice with Judge Maybelline.
You got your head down like you pray.
I might need to.
What would you pray for?
Willpower. I'm afraid to love you.
You don't have to be afraid. Rated PG-13.
You've probably heard a lot about CBD. At Medicaid 08, our products are backed by science and tested for purity by a third party, offering the highest quality in CBD products for pain management on Oahu.
I used to suffer from diabetes, but after taking the oil, I was totally taken off that medication, and I have good news, the product works.
Visit us at a location near you and stop hurting today.
St. Francis Healthcare System is creating something new and exciting. The St. Francis Kupuna Village in Liliha. The former hospital campus is being transformed into a health and wellness community for seniors and their caregivers, featuring a skilled nursing facility and an array of physicians in different specialties, with future plans for assisted living and independent living and a senior community center. Call today for more information. St. Francis Healthcare System, creating healthy communities for Hawaii's families.
Experience the ultimate in durability and award-winning designs with Prism, the latest in luxury flooring from Armstrong. Dent, scratch, and stain-resistant, Prism flooring is also 100% waterproof, protecting against spills and pets. Choose from 20 uniquely crafted designs where realistic textures combine for the ultimate natural look. To learn more about Prism Luxury Flooring, visit the Homeowners Design Center at 1030 Kobo Street, Honolulu. Installation service is also available.
Aloha! I'm coming to the Blaisdell Center in Honolulu, March 6th and 7th.
Carol Burnett is laugh out loud hilarious. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster and the box office, and make the perfect Valentine's gift.
And I hope to see you there. Mahalo.
Okay. Yeah, that was headquarters. We've been made. We have to ditch the car.
Yes, let's go. What are we going to do with the car? We can't just ditch it.
Well, they did pay us to save the world. Why don't we start by saving a life?
Mahalo for your donation to Kidney Cars.
We'll pick up the car from any location. Donate a car, save a life. Call Kidney Cars today for more information.
You might like that Atkins frozen meals help you cut your carbs while enjoying the foods you love. But what you'll probably like best is that they taste every bit as good as they look. This is today's Atkins.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline. Chelsea Morrow is suing Braden Williams in the amount of $600. Ms. Morrow claims her boyfriend broke up with her right after she bailed him out of jail and says he never paid her back.
In the matter of Chelsea Murrow versus Braden Williams, you're suing him for $600
Yes, I
for
am.
the bail money you put up, huh?
Yes. I
All right.
bailed him out, and he bailed on me, Your Honor.
Give me some background.
Well, Your Honor, I met him at a baseball game that I won tickets to. He was very nerdy, very sweet, very kind, different from the guys in my family, which are rough around the edges and brolic. I like that. So we dated for 10 months. I surprised him with some tickets to a baseball game. Around the 7th inning, a beer was thrown at my brother, which started a huge fight. Next thing I know, things are going crazy. And they take all the men to jail.
So did your brother go to jail too?
All the men, all the brothers.
So did you bail anybody else out?
Just my boyfriend.
Oh. What happened to the rest of your brothers? You said they could stay there?
They got out, Your Honor.
Okay.
The help of my family.
So he got out of jail and you went down there, put up the bail, he got out, he never came to you? You haven't seen or heard from him since?
No, not a text, not a call, not a how you're doing, not a thank you. Nothing came from him.
So now you want to pay you back?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Williams.
Your Honor, I did have her pay for my bill, and then I have not spoken to her since, and I don't think I was doing any wrong in doing so.
You asked her to pay your bail?
Oh, no, she volunteered that on her own. I was sitting in jail. They told me that the bill had been paid. I saw her when I got out, and I just kept walking.
Coming up.
As a gentleman's trying to walk behind our group, he spills a little bit of beer on the brother. And before the gentleman can even apologize, they all jump up like, hey, man, what's the problem? And a fight breaks out.
Closed captioning provided by...
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Buchamode.
Cut.
Line.
Cut. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Cut. Liberty. Am I allowed to riff? What if I come out of the water? Liberty Bibbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's hard to get all the daily fiber we need from food alone. That's why I love Fiber Choice. With the fiber found in many fruits and vegetables. Fiber Choice, #1 gastroenterologist recommended chewable fiber. Find it in the digestive aisle.
You've tried so many moisturizers, but one blows them all out of the water. Hydro Boost with hyaluronic acid to plump skin cells so it bounces back. Neutrogena. And for body, Hydro Boost Body Gel Cream.
These are real people, not actors, who've got their eczema under control. With less eczema, you can show more skin. So roll up those sleeves and help heal your skin from within with Dupixent. Dupixent is the first treatment of its kind that continuously treats moderate to severe eczema, or atopic dermatitis, even between flare-ups. Dupixent is a biologic and not a cream or steroid. Many people taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin and had significantly less itch. That's a difference you can feel. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. So help heal your skin from within and talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Feeling sluggish or weighed down can be a sign your digestive system isn't working at its best. Taking Metamucil every day can help. Its psyllium fiber forms a gel that traps and removes the waste that weighs you down. It also helps lower cholesterol and slows sugar absorption, promoting healthy blood sugar levels. So start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Take the Metamucil 2-week challenge. Lighten up. Just take Metamucil every day for 2 weeks. Available at your local retailer.
Before I founded Kahi Health, I was over 400 pounds with some serious health issues. My life could have just ended because of my bad diet and bad lifestyle that I was living. I reduced my cholesterol, reduced my blood pressure. I got off of my insulin.
Get the resources you need to better manage heart disease and diabetes. Schedule your free consultation today.
I feel awesome in Kahi Health, changing my life for better.
Ikahi Health, putting you back in charge of your health.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline. We're back with the case of Chelsea Murrow, who is suing Braden Williams for breach of contract.
I've seen her family a few times, but I try not to hang out with them. Like she said, we're on two separate spectrums. They're loud, and I'm more quiet and reserved. So one instance, we go to the movie theater, and it's about 6 of us, and her brothers are acting like children. They're throwing popcorn at each other in the movie theater, which isn't that serious, but it bothered me that it didn't bother them that they were ruining the experience for everybody
6 adults throwing popcorn.
6 adults, grown men. And so it was not really my place to say anything because it's her family. So I decided I'm not going to be around you guys. So
is that what happened at the baseball game?
No, at the baseball game, she told me that she got tickets for herself and me, not for herself, me, and her whole family. If I would have known the whole family was coming, I wouldn't have gone.
Okay. So what happened?
We're sitting behind home plate, so it's kind of crowded. As a gentleman's trying to walk behind our group, he spills a little bit of beer on the brother. And before the gentleman can even apologize, they all jump up like, "Hey, man, what's the problem?" And somebody else throws a beer, and a fight breaks out. And while I'm trying to get away, she's pushing me back over there like, "Oh, no, go help my brothers. Go help my brothers."
Oh. Okay.
And I didn't start this, and they're being disrespectful, so I don't see why I have to help them. And so security comes down, and they arrest all of us, and so she bails me out, and then I bail on her.
Okay, then you said this is over.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't want to be bothered with this family anymore, right?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, he's went out with...
Had you ever been arrested before?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Okay. Yes?
He's been out with me and my family multiple times before this. When he found out that it was with my brothers going to the game, if it was such a big deal, then he should have left before then.
Well, you didn't know that everybody was going.
I didn't find out until I got there.
No. He knew before he went to the game.
Okay, so he tried to go to the game with you and your brothers and your family, but your family acted a fool.
Right.
And he got him arrested.
Judge Maybelline's verdict when Justice with Judge Maybelline returns. Promotional consideration provided by
Best Fiends. It's more than a game. Collect tons of cute characters. Solve thousands of fiendishly fun puzzles. Download Best Fiends for free today. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Fact is, every insurance company hopes you drive safely. But Allstate actually helps you drive safely with DriveWise. It lets you know when you go too fast and brake too hard. With feedback to help you drive safer, giving you the power to actually lower your cost. Unfortunately, you can't do anything about that. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
New Fixodent Ultra Duo Power provides you with unbeatable hold and strong seal against food infiltrations. Fixodent, and forget it.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline.
You bailed him out.
Yes, I did.
But why does he owe you?
But if he knows that this is how my brothers are, he mentioned to you that we went to the whole movie incident. So he knows this is how my brothers react to things. He knows that this is what happens. He says this is how they are. They're on 2 different spectrums.
And he put up with as much as he could put up with until he got arrested. Then he said, this is over. You got that? That's the point he made up his mind. I'm not going to have this in my life. This is what I'll have to contend with from now on? No way. And I applaud him for it, because most people would not have done that. Most people would continue to deal, like you said, why he keeps standing around. Most people would keep standing around and never express it, and you'd never know that that was the feeling. I am not going to order him to pay. You bailed him out as a gift. You did it willingly because you cared about him, and that's what you did. And that's what people do when they're in love and their friendship. This was not a contract. This was not an agreement that he would repay you. That's what people do when you're in relationships. And just because the relationship ends, you can't change what was the fact then. No, I'm not going to order him to repay you. Judgment for the defendant.
Judge Maybelline has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I expected more from you. You could have called or something.
Sorry you feel that way, but this was what was best for me.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jamie. She has Hawaiian Telcom. I get tons of HD. Spectrum has tons of HD. Plus, we get the free Spectrum TV app. The whole family can watch live TV on their devices. Hawaiian Telcom doesn't offer an in-home TV app. And we love watching Spectrum's OC16, their 24/7 local sports and lifestyle channel. We don't get that either.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 6